That's if Tracey fades us in.
I'm Morey White.
I'm Bob Nelson.
I'm Tracey White.
I'm Jake Schreiner.
Hey, Jake!
Howdy.
I'm Pastor Johnny Leckie, and this is the Compass Conversation Podcast. Welcome.
And I'm being useful.
He's being useful tonight.
We will follow you. You have the name above every name. We will follow you, King Jesus.
Woohoo! See, I faded to black. There's like no need to fade to black, but I like pushing the button. We're back!
Back so soon.
So soon.
Cheers. Cheers to all.
Got a lid on.
She got a little something for Jake to drink tonight.
Yeah.
I'll be okay.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
I can share.
Some to chew.
No, I'm alright.
Sippy cup. It's funny because I was
This is where we pass the cup around.
I was telling Harper earlier today. I said, "Look, this is my sippy cup."
It's a big sippy cup.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
big sippy cup.
Well, guys, this is good to see you guys all tonight. Let's go around the room, see how everybody is doing. I'm going to start with who we didn't get to see yesterday with the fantastic shirt on. Morey White, how are you doing, man?
I'm doing great.
John 3:16.
John 3:16 Taylor got this for me, and I love it. I wore it out in public, and you know what? I got no responses, which was kind of odd.
So you'd be wearing a rainbow wig or something.
Oh, no, then they're going to say, hey, that's that guy from the football game.
Oh goodness.
But, yeah, John 3:16, I'm very excited about that, and we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm doing great. First, I want to say thank you to everybody for the prayers for Julie.
Yeah.
I saw the answers to those prayers, which is a glorious thing to see.
Yeah.
So, right off the bat, praise be to God for His faithfulness in that. And that has been a wonderful thing. She's doing well. She is in pain, but that's to be expected. Pain means that she's healing.
Yeah.
If she didn't feel anything, we'd worry.
Yeah.
But
So,
it's a good sign that you're here tonight. That says that she's doing better. I mean, I know your mom's still here.
Thanks, Mom.
So the most amazing thing was seeing the answers to the prayers. Some things didn't happen that happened last time. So she did better in her surgery than she did last time.
Oh, yeah.
So things worked out in such a way that all the obstacles were not only avoided, but they were pushed out of the way,
That is so awesome.
which is amazing to see.
Nice.
So, yeah, praise be to God. on that.
Fantastic,
Yeah.
man.
That's great.
Glad you're here.
Yeah, me too.
Smiling and John 3:16 and
Yeah.
all of that.
That being said, I'm pretty tired.
Oh goodness.
All right, we're going to jump over here to
What?
Mr. Bob. What's your name again?
That'd be
Bob-
Bob Nelson.
It's not Bob White.
Associate Pastor Bob Nelson.
Yes. Okay, so I don't.
How are you doing, Bob?
I don't think I've done this on the podcast. I've actually broken out my name, Robert Lee Nelson, for what it actually all is, and it's so Robert's from the Germanic, and it's 2 words. It's they break down to fame bright, and then Lee is the kind of like a meadow, and then Nelson, son of Nell. But Bob was first used by a king, so please address me by my full name. The fame bright of the meadow, son of Nell.
I think the only thing I'm keeping from that is of the meadow. Thank you, Bob of the meadow.
Son of Nell.
Dude, that's cool.
I like that.
All right. But doing well, I guess.
It was a really long day, over 10 hours, but it's over. It's Monday.
Yeah.
But it was a good weekend. I got to hang out with my dad yesterday for a couple hours for Father's Day, and while Joy was hanging out with her parents, so we kind of divided and conquered.
Wow, okay.
So worked out pretty well.
Very nice. All right, man. To my right,
Hello.
Tracey White. Very useful tonight.
Very useful.
Back into usefulness.
It's the buttons.
What happens if I push this one?
No!
Oh, okay.
Don't you lost us.
Don't push the
It
button.
almost turned the whole world off, brother.
Everything went black for a second.
The internet died.
Typical Monday, as you know, I can repeat the whole thing that I do every week about Mondays being Mondays, but the good news is I was focused on work and I looked at the clock and it's like, oh, I'm done.
Yeah.
All right, so another Monday down. You know what?
Awesome.
2 more Mondays, and then because the following Monday is 4th of July weekend, so we get a paid holiday for that, but then that week, and then it's the cruise. So very much looking forward to that. And other than that, guys, the only thing that really tugged at my heart was for Father's Day. My dad, our dad, lost his sister, our aunt. She died yesterday.
That's a
It
shame.
was very quick. Knew it was coming, but it was very quick. The process after stopping the blood transfusion or whatever the blood thing. Anyway,
Dialysis.
no,
Just
it's
transfusion?
from leukemia.
yeah.
Transfusion stuff. So, but so that was kind of sad for the family yesterday.
We love the Clyde family.
We do
Yeah,
love
we-
the Clyde family and love my cousins, and they lost their dad, Merle, Uncle Merle, about 3 years ago, I want to say. Maybe less. I think it's been less than 3 years.
Yeah.
But yeah, so.
That's a bummer, man. I'm
yeah.
sorry to hear that.
Yeah, but that's the only thing that's been, kind of weighing on me. That's it.
Oh, okay.
I'm good. Other than that,
I'm sorry to hear that, but I am glad that you're here.
well, our family. Our family is very, and the entire family is this way. We have a different outlook on life and death, and what happens when we're gone, and how we deal with the sadness and loss and stuff like that. So there's a lot of comfort in the family, even though we still feel a lot of loss there.
Yeah.
So death isn't an easy thing to deal with, but if you're living that life where you believe that is just a transition, that's not the end for us.
Right.
And then when your family lives a faithful and a wonderful life, then if you continue to lead a faithful life, that you will see them again
You're gonna
in
see them
paradise.
again.
So yeah, there you go.
Yeah, we don't grieve as those who have no hope.
There you go.
Scripture says.
That's right. That's right.
Well, all right. Well, okay, over here to my left.
Another typical Monday for myself as well.
This is Jake.
Yeah, it took me a while to get used to that too.
No pressure, man. We're so glad that you're here. Just kind of come join us around the table.
Yeah, no, I was very glad to be invited by Tracy. So this is good. Haven't had any sort of male camaraderie or just time to like hang out in a long time. So this is I was very very happy to be invited by Tracy. It's a lot of stuff going on in my life. I'm not going to get into too much.
No, that's
stuff,
okay.
But no, it's typical Monday with work. But things are starting to get better with that, and with lots of other things going on with my dad as well. He's going through some cancer issues and stuff. My wife's struggling with a few things, and so it's been a tough last year, but things are starting to get better. So just keep praying and hoping that everybody pulls through. So
There you go.
Awesome.
Yeah.
But Jake, man, I'm glad that you're getting some male camaraderie. I'm only sad that it had to be with us. What am I talking about? You're in the best place ever. This is the best place to be for that, man.
Yeah.
Well, we're glad you're here, man. Just chime in as you want. Sit back and not do anything as you want. It's up to you. It's just a conversation that we're having. Right.
Speaking of conversation, let us know how you're doing, Johnny.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Because it's your turn.
It is my turn. All right, how am I doing? Well, I'm not tired.
Woohoo!
Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you very
Right.
much.
There you go.
Although I should be.
Yeah.
Right.
No school today, right?
That's exactly right. Not having to work at school today.
Yeah.
But but I did, we did help a friend who is going through a lot of difficulties over the weekend. This person, their fiance, is near death. Both of her boys had been in a car accident. Both of them were near death, and so she just needs some help. And so one of the small things that she asked, one was for Leona to come sit with one of those boys, and the other was if anybody could trim the hedges. Right? So I thought, I bet our people, we have some guys who could get together and do that. I thought, well, it's just hedges. I'll do it. So anyway, when I got there, the edger that she had for me to use wasn't holding a charge. And on top of that, it was only about this long. There were 4 bushes that were like 6 feet tall, almost each of them. And then they said, well, the neighbor has, the old analog kind. And I thought, well, I don't really want to do it that way, but I mean, I guess if I really get after it, I can Edward Scissorhands this thing, And so anyway, it turned out that what the neighbors had was just the old pruning shears like this. So after, I had to wait for Leon anyway, so I just thought, well, I'll see what I can do. So I butchered this bush. But anyway, so Saturday I went back, borrowed your clippers, thank you so much, and it was just like, they're about that long here.
I have an extra set.
Well, you were busy. You were busy.
With both hands.
So that wore me out. But then we have coming up, so we got a really big bunch of stuff about to happen. So this Saturday is the movie night, which we've already had people signing up for online, by the way.
Oh, very cool.
Pass that along.
Cool.
People I don't know, which is even better.
I got the projector lined up. Jay called me back today. So
Oh, good.
Tomorrow.
All right. Excellent. So we'll actually be able to show the movie.
Yeah.
Good work, Pastor Bob from the Meadow. Anyway, yeah, that's ours. That's the church's.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we knew we were going to be doing a lot of movie nights down the road too. We'll also not just do the ones that are big community, but we'll check those out to different people in our church who want to do a movie night for their neighbors and stuff too. So, anywho. So that's coming up on Saturday, and then Sunday's Big Sunday, and then I have this all happened all really quickly. So you guys know that my son is coming in from Philadelphia. Yeah. They're going to be here for the 4th of July weekend.
Nice.
But my sister now, a couple of you guys have met Penny, right? She came and joined us for a thing or two. She's going to be here with her husband and their youngest son on Monday night. Matthew, Danny, and those guys are showing up on Tuesday night.
You're going to have a house full.
Yeah, and then Penny and Jeremy are going to be leaving on Thursday. Matthew and Danny are still going to be around. And then I get this call yesterday afternoon. Boy, that's my brother. What's up, Kenny? Well, we were thinking about maybe come through and seeing you guys. So now they're going to be here on that Saturday and on Church on the Green Sunday. They're going to be here too. So anyway, yeah, so we're like, okay, the house. We got stuff to do. Anyway, so all that to say, that and working out. I spent way too much time looking at portable air conditioners today, and then setting up a flight for Leona who's going to go see her parents again in July. But I'm not tired.
Nice fun day.
I'm fresh and recovered.
Well, there you go. Oh, goodness.
All right, guys. Well, what do you want to talk about? I mean, we're almost anything's game. We can talk about the weekend.
Well, you're not supposed to get together and talk about the politics, so let's leave that. You're not supposed to talk about religion, but we're going to do that anyway.
Yeah, we'll leave the politics out of our podcast.
That's right.
Religion, let's jump on it.
Yeah.
Because we'll start singing. If someone starts getting into that, I'm just going to start singing.
We are.
I had a song stuck in my head.
Which one?
All day. I love you with the love of the Lord.
Oh, that's a good old song.
I love you with the love of the Lord.
That is an old song.
And here I see the glory of my King.
And I love you with the love of the Lord. That's like from the 70s
I
or
love
something.
that one pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't have to
That
tell
was
you
like
this,
a
but this-
devotional song.
I was going to say, I don't have to tell you this, but strangely, about a week and a half ago, that same song was in my ear.
Really?
I don't know where it came from or what.
That is
Do we need to redo it?
I don't know. Love you with love.
Or not.
Bob, can you do that?
I could probably do that.
All right.
Bob, you're the man.
Okay.
Out of the meadow.
Of the meadow. We gotta be careful. This is really gonna stick. So we have to be careful with that. Of the meadow stuff.
I thought you were going to break up your name Robert, which is like row, like what you do with a boat, and Bert as in the other half of Ernie.
Or Rob Ert, whoever Ert is.
Ert.
Thief.
No, oh, that's a yurt.
Rob
Yurt, those round houses.
Ay, ay, ay.
It's a yurt.
Man.
Oh, that's weird. Okay.
So we could talk about yesterday,
Yeah, let's talk about yesterday.
or we could talk about Psalm 19, which I read today,
Ooh,
but which was
a little bit, whatever, man.
very repetitive, but I like it.
Psalm 119, do you know why it's repetitive?
It's verses.
Psalm 119,
It's almost like
all about the word of the Lord, right?
yes, yeah. Keeping your how did it word it?
That word have I hidden in my heart.
Pretenses or something like that. Yeah. Isn't that nice?
Is that right? 119,
Wait, no, you
11.
said 19.
Oh, Psalm
19.
19. Oh, I'm sorry. I was thinking 119.
No, 19.
That's the one that keeps on going. And
I will keep your word in my heart. I will.
that's not the one.
Yeah, it's basically over and over again, because that's what helps keep me on the right path. And I will praise your teachings and your laws, and I will keep them on my heart. I mean, over and over again, because that helps me get through life. I will meditate on your word and your instruction, and it means so much to me, and all that stuff. And I thought
Sounds a lot like 119.
it was very repetitive, but it was like, I mean, that, you say it over and over again, and it's not like the psalmist was convincing himself. It was just like, this is what makes my life, doable, and dealing with things and staying on the right path and living a pure life and everything is if I keep your commands and I keep them close to my heart and I meditate on them, I think about them all the time, then I'm going to get it right, So that's kind of cool.
It sounds like 119. I mean, it sounds like Psalm 119 also.
Yeah, because Psalm 19
All
is,
right.
the heavens declare the glory of God, and the sky above proclaims his handiwork.
Let me tell you this.
Oh,
He was reading something.
Was this the Bible that you read? Or was it?
Yeah, it was 119, yeah.
yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. So here's the thing about Psalm 119, which is great, is in Hebrew, it is taking the Hebrew alphabet
Yeah.
and taking the first, each letter kicks off each part of Psalm 119. So it's
Oh,
like
yeah.
an acrostic, a poetic
Yeah, that's really great.
acrostic. Yeah, that's why it's partly repetitive.
Yeah.
The whole thing is about how amazing God's word is, but it's taking that first letter of the Hebrew alphabet and going through each one
Yeah.
to start off a new
Yeah.
phrase. So
Happy are those who keep his decrees and seek him with all their heart. They do nothing wrong. They walk in his way. I could read the whole thing.
it's a very
That's
long
good because it's
That's
the
why.
longest.
It's the
book of
longest
Bible.
one in the Bible.
Yeah, well, today's reading was only up to verse 48. So
Okay.
tomorrow is 48 to 96, and then I'm sure it goes on from there. So
I will say something. That's fantastic. Psalms. I did speak about the Psalms briefly yesterday, but there's usually more than meets the eye in most of those Psalms. But thinking of yesterday, I just got to mention this. So I'm not going to do this again. I don't know what we were thinking. Like Leona's quoting, stuff from the podcast now with the sponsors and stuff. But here comes our friend Marcella, and we just spontaneously started singing to her.
that was good.
And it was pretty fun. She was still smiling. I talked to her afterward, and I was like, I hope we didn't embarrass you. And she goes, yes, I was embarrassed. I goes, oh, no, don't be embarrassed. She goes, well, it's because I was late.
Yeah, but not as late as John and Sandrine.
They made it, though. That's what
I know.
That's what I was happy about.
Doesn't really matter.
So Michael, later that day, goes, that thing you did with the walking up to campus, he goes, if that had been me walking up, I would have just turned around.
Bye.
Maybe we should have done that. I don't know. I hope
But
you felt it
actually,
with love.
No,
it kind of is a beautiful thing because, it's like, we're like family.
Yeah.
And so we treat everybody like that. That includes embarrassing other
Well, we don't want to
members of the family on occasion. It's so fun.
We're a little more comfortable with each other to embarrass each other, but
first Sunday someone visits, we would never do such a thing.
Mostly because we don't know their name.
right?
Second Sunday we know their name, and then we'll
We could, hey, you.
Thanks for coming.
Don't
Or we
take
could just-
this wrong.
every time anybody shows
You
up.
are late, but we're okay with that. So,
I was gonna say how long you can go with that. Just spontaneously
make it up.
under the tree.
You were in the Psalms yesterday. So
yeah, at least
7.
in part we were.
How was it under the tree?
Oh,
It was nice.
It was very nice.
Yeah.
Nice and
The
cool.
dragonflies were a little distracting.
Oh, were there some dragon? I didn't even
Oh
see
my
them.
gosh, yeah, they were flying kind of behind. There's like a squadron of them.
Black foul beasts.
Oh my goodness.
That's funny.
Because unfortunately, with everything was so whited out, otherwise probably could have seen them. So, because they're big honking dragonflies.
Yeah.
There are correct settings, and we'll do that next time.
We'll get the setting there.
We'll get them. We'll get them.
Yeah.
Well, what else about yesterday?
So I figured
You
out
preached.
how to get the James 4 to work. It's punctuation is the problem. So James 4, when you're talking about what causes quarrels,
What's the source of
Oh,
wars?
right.
and then you get into his where he starts repeating himself, and he said, you cannot.
You murder.
This is out of the English Standard Version, so sorry. You covet and cannot obtain, so you fight and quarrel. You do not have because you do not ask. You ask and do not receive because you ask wrongly to spend it on your passions. They translate it a little bit better in the Holman version. Though all those would tie together with a semicolon or with a colon. You do not you quarrel, and here's why: because you're messing with your passions, and that's all. You don't ask me, and you're constantly just striving after your own passions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's
Yep.
so yeah.
You don't ask, so you don't get.
Yeah.
And when you ask the wrong things.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Just like a child.
Yeah. How much we are like that.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like, you don't want to tie two things together too appropriately or try to force it or anything.
Right.
But what I wanted to see was that he's starting off talking about this, but he's just continuing some of these thoughts about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, this is where this comes from, and here's some solutions to that issue, right? So, take it, that whole line is take it to God before take it out of them. That's I'm not sure I was really clear with all of that also. I was trying to say, this is what's great about the podcast, by the way, Jay, is that everything I was not clear about, maybe I can clear up on Monday.
More explanation.
Nobody's watching, but we were here. Yeah, they are. So anyhow, this idea that by taking it to God before taking it out of them, and it's preventative in a way. So it kind of helps prevent certain conflicts. And that's where I probably parked longer than I probably wanted to. But it's also when there's a problem, there's something going on, or you've got to talk to that person at work tomorrow, or you've got to, have this spouse conversation, or you've got to deal with your mother-in-law or whatever is happening. Just throwing out whatever in a relationship, neighbor, or whatever's going on. Before you jump into it, you got to pause and seek wisdom and make sure that you're getting yourself out of the way and you have the right heart and attitude. So both for before it happens and even when it's starting to happen, how to.
And that's a tough one too, because sometimes you want to have that conversation with somebody you care about, and I need to have a conversation. You and I have talked about this, and that's a rough one, because you kind of want to let them have it, but not in a mean way, just as in, look, this is how I feel, and because of that, here's a consequence to it. But you want that to come across in the most loving way as possible, but it's one of those you're gonna have to do this, which will not seem loving on the receiving end of that. So
I got you.
So now it's taking more than one day to figure it out.
It's okay though. That's all right though. It's like being slow to anger and slow to speak. It's a wise thing to do.
But there are times where on our own we cannot deal with that situation, so we have to give that to God.
Yeah.
And take it to God for the answer, because in a situation that, for example, the one he's talking about, I cannot deal with that one on my own. Mm-hmm. That is a really hard one. So but it's funny how we hang on to that as if it's some kind of, that bitterness is some kind of precious thing. I was flipping through the channels.
My
That's
precious.
right, my precious, like the ring.
Precious bitterness.
My precious bitter. But it's funny because I was flipping through the channels and I saw that Shrek 2 was about to come on, but it was at the end of one of the Ice Age movies. And it was the one with the little monkey creature with the eye patch. I don't, it's not a monkey, he's a lemur or
Randall, right? Isn't that his name?
something.
Or
Whatever.
something?
Runs around with a knife and he's hunting the
With the
bad
Australian
dinosaur,
accent.
Yeah.
right?
With the Australian accent.
Yeah.
Yes, and so the bad dinosaur dies and he's like, what am I going to
Rudy
do
was
now? So they go to leave the place and he hears the dinosaur and he's like, oh, great, my nemesis is back. But we hang on to it like that.
Yeah.
As if it's so precious.
I like the way that you described that, Morey, because the look on your face looks so sad.
Oh, I am sad. That's the thing, I am
It's like,
super.
it touched me, man.
When the camera stop rolling, we'll bring that up.
No, it's all good. Okay. Well, that was it, but yeah, that's fantastic.
But we hang on to it and it goes completely against.
Dun, 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 dun.
All right.
Well, we are going to be a little heads up behind the scenes here. That part of the things that we're going to talk about, not this coming Sunday, maybe not the next one, but when we get back to this,
Spoiler alert. Spoiler.
is about how to talk. It's like knowing when to talk, when not to talk, and then how to talk.
Why is the gambler song in my head?
You gotta know when to hold them, you gotta know when to fold them, when to walk away, when to run. I gotta remember that.
Hanging on to your words is probably a better idea than hanging on to your bitterness.
Without a doubt. But yeah, so I mean, and part of it is knowing how to speak the truth in love.
Yeah.
And so that kind of goes to what you were talking about. But we'll be getting to that later. So
Good.
everybody keep your relationships intact.
So we'll just put a pin in that until a couple weeks from now.
So many things can happen.
I did think that was funny when you said nobody had any problems in their relationship. After the
Wouldn't that be great? If we can just do that.
We're just gonna put all of our problems on hold for
There'll be
just
no
a minute.
arguments. There'll be no problems.
Oh my goodness.
Nothing for 2 more weeks. Okay.
So there was, I did like Psalm 64, by the way, when we're talking about God, hear my voice when I'm in anguish. And you had a good example of going to an empty field and venting to God. And I
highly
think
recommend
we've
it.
probably all been there at some point. I know I have on more than one occasion. I can think of them right off the top of my head. But to know that that's a problem that we face, and to realize it's an outlet that we can that God can take, right? He can take. You talking to me? All right.
You talking to me?
I'll hear you out, because that's an acknowledgement of well, God's existence for one, and if you are venting to God, complaining to God, why, there's an acknowledgement that He's in our lives and has something to do with how we work it out and all that kind of good stuff. So I thought Psalm 64 was a good passage. It was.
Yeah, it's pretty brutally honest in how he approaches it. But I mean, that's what I like about it. It's not sugar coated in any way.
Yeah,
It's just the raw emotion of it. But I also like how, as he's doing that, he begins to understand better and get a better picture of things.
It's not. I think it's a little further in.
It's like, where is this going? Your loving kindness gone forever? I guess that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Did we finish that out there? Or, I don't remember. No.
I will say, as a side note, it is always a great idea if you can get somewhere to pray, where you can pray out loud with nobody else around. Mm-hmm. Great place to do that, by the way, is in the car. If you're by yourself in the car. Because these days you can be, you can yell in the car. People think you're yelling
just like everybody else.
Yeah, just like everybody else, exactly. But it's just as you said, Tracy. I mean, it's like when you're talking out loud. This is not some weird thing in your head. It's not, everything's kind of fuzzy, and then you're distracted. And you're like, when you're talking out loud, you're actually acknowledging, I'm really talking to a person. This is not a figment of my imagination. This is not me. just kind of talking to myself. I'm literally out loud talking to God and pouring that out. And sometimes, honestly, when there's raw emotion, when there's raw feelings, when there's difficult things, there's nothing better than being able to just shout it out.
Yeah.
Hey, look.
Hey, Kenny's calling you.
Kenny's calling.
Hi, Kenny. We're in the middle of something. You're gonna have to wait, buddy. Wait, yeah, you gonna answer it?
Yeah.
We're at the end anyway.
Hey, Kenny, I'm in the middle of a podcast recording. How are you doing, man?
Well, tell the world we said hello.
Hey, world. Kenny says hey.
Hey, world. Kenny
Hello.
says hey.
Hello.
Hey, I'll be wrapping this up here pretty soon. I'll give you a call back. Anything you'd like to say to the world?
Yeah, make good choices.
Good choices.
Can't guarantee that, brother. All right, buddy. I'll call you back here in just a little bit. All right, bye. Speaking of the devil, there he
Yeah,
is.
right.
My brother.
Your brother's the devil?
We have a complicated
harsh.
relationship.
Oh my goodness, that got dark real quick.
All
I
right.
got weird real quick on you.
The shirt.
Yeah,
It is
tell us-
time.
Tell us
It
about
is
the
time.
shirt.
We're going to speak to the John 3:16 Cam. John 3:16. For God so loved the world that he gave his only son, that whoever believes in him will not perish but have eternal life. It's an amazing thing. Read it over and over and over.
That's one of those things I try to keep in my heart personally, because whenever the pressures are coming down,
Yeah.
I just go, God loves me. God loves me. God loves me. And it
he loves them
really
too.
is
You know, that's another way.
such a relief. I mean, so much. So my problems seem a little insignificant in the grand scheme of things.
Oh, they're not insignificant.
Anyway,
That's the Ephesians. I think it's Ephesians. The be kind to one another, tenderhearted, and forgiving one another, just as Christ forgave, or just as God forgave you
Yes,
in Christ.
yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Wow.
That one, yeah, that's totally tied to John
Absolutely.
3:16.
that's true. That's true.
Meaning of life, by the way.
Meaning of life.
Not 42.
We're out of
Oh,
time.
we're out of time,
Yeah,
aren't
we're out of time.
Okay.
We're gonna run out of
So
tape.
here we are. Oh, we're running out of tape. The reel to reel is
The
about to
real
break.
real, yeah.
The tape is going to break. Well, all I want to say is that we meet every Sunday at, what time do we meet? 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock.
On Sunday mornings, usually at Arkansas Elementary School, sometimes inside, sometimes outside, sometimes in other places, but we are always online. You can find us on Facebook at Compass Church Colorado, and we would love to have you as our guest this Sunday. All right. What happened?
Not sponsored by Dr. Pepper.
Oh, Dr. Pepper. No, not a sponsor.
But if you
But-
like,
If you'd like to be. It's Johnny at compassdenver.com. All right, so. Oh, we didn't even tell you about this. But let's just do it. Okay, so final words before we go.
Is that I really love you guys and I love everyone else out there.
likewise, of course, and likewise.
Peace, y'all.
Jake?
But yeah.
You're on the spot, man.
I'm glad I came.
Right over here, bye.
It's really dangerous because you get stuck with it.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. Do that every time. Okay, so. What do I? Oh, grace and peace to you. That's all we have for tonight, and we are out. Out we go. Bang, bang, bang.